Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And at this time, we go into Conscious Talk with Mr. Antoine, who is in the studio of the Street Now and FM. So remember, you can join us on Facebook and on YouTube as he gets into his program today. Good morning, Mr. Antoine.
A pleasure morning to you, Mr. Before I move into my program, ladies and gentlemen, before I move into the program, let me just say this. This morning I got up and when I put on the radio, I wasn't hearing anything from 91.9. And I'm bringing up this to say, ladies and gentlemen, to all who is in the ambit of my voice, none of us knows what tomorrow would bring. I see that as a little bit of, doing a little bit of introspection. There it is, we got up and none of us, I don't know what transpired, but you are looking forward on your favorite radio station to hear what's happening and nothing. So based on that, I must say, let's try and live every day as our last. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on saying that, last night, I had a very hard night. I hardly slept last night. Why I hardly slept last night? I had visitors in my sleep last night. And may I say, deceased visitors. I try sleeping and they are only coming in my sleep. And I speak of Reverend Mr. Chubby Davis. I speak of Mr. Ricardo Welch, a.k.a. the Gladiator. I speak of Archbishop Monica Randu and also Mr. MacDonald Padmo, all stalwarts of this said radio station, Bashment 91.9. I couldn't have slept last night and I wonder what's happening. And they came to me in the dream and they are saying, you have to make an apology. I said, what did I do? What do I have to apologize for? And they said, you have to apologize and you have to ask questions. And they started. They say you wrote a letter. You wrote a letter to 5 gentlemen. Mr. Kafra Kambon, Mr. David Mohammed, Mr. Fitzgerald Hines, Mr. Harvey Boris, Mr. Selwyn Kojo. Wow. And I'm saying, why? What did I do? What do I have to apologize for? And why? What questions do I have to ask? They said you asked for something of significance, meaning the Emancipation Support Committee, what you used as the backdrop to ask for a property or place equivalent to the Queen's Park Savannah, where on Carnival, thousands of Afro-Trinidadians or Africans will go, along with other races, will go and just have frolic and leave for in no time. But that don't belong to you all. He mentioned other things. I can't sleep and they're only telling me I have to apologize based on the fact that you asked the question in connection with the Queen's Park Savannah in terms of a space for Afro-Trinidadian, in terms of Emancipation Day, where you all will go and visit and leave, that kind of thing. I said, okay, I'll apologize. I said, when I apologize, what do I do? They say the Afro-Trinidadian have a lot of places. You all have places. And I would like you to speak of those places. And I'm speaking about in this dream, where Reverend Mr. Chubby Davis, Mr. MacDonald Padmo, Archbishop Monica Randu, and Ricardo Welch, the Gladiator, they said, the places you all have, they started, there is a place on Long Circular, which is owned by the PSA for years. Look at this place. They said you all have that. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you could go on your live and see the place I'm speaking about. I said, why should I mention this? Why should I question this place? They say, just question it. This is Afro. They say you don't have anything. Well, look on this. And then they mention the breakfast shed in Port of Spain on Rice Road. The breakfast shed on Rice Road, they mentioned that. They say you all have that. Yeah? I said, so why do I have to come and speak about that? Why do I have to speak about the breakfast shed on Rice Road? I don't understand it. They say you are asking questions and you would like to know what the Afro-Trinidadian have. Well, the Afro-Trinidadians have some things and speak about this. Question this. Yes, there's a breakfast shed on Rice Road. And also there is a sign which is close to the King George V Park, which is the Mandela Park sign. You could question that. Yes, you all have that. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, as they would say on this station, check out the live. Go on Facebook, see the pictures, see the photos. We have this, the Mandela Park. And I'm trying to sleep and I cannot sleep. And they are saying to question that. I say, why me? Why me? They said you were chosen to ask that because you asked 4 gentlemen or 5 gentlemen in connection with property, and you all have this. And then there is an next property where they alluded to. And I said, what places? They said this is the Emancipation Support Committee office. And you spoke about a chain on the gate, which you asked, which you indicated to Mr. Kafra Cambon that chain on the gate brought about a level of putting you back in slavery times when they see that change. You even offered to change that gate to put a different locking apparatus, which you would have financed. You didn't get the opportunity all these years. This is the Emancipation Support Committee office. Join the live, as they would say on 91.9. Who am I to ask about these things? So 4 dead persons came in my dream and told me on their behalf to ask about these things. And here I am asking about these things this morning. I never knew in my wildest dream that this property owned by the Emancipation Support Committee was leased, or this is owned by the government of the People's National Movement. They are the owners of this property. I am asking, is it true? I don't know. In my dream, I was told to ask about this property and many other things. Many other things. Ladies and gentlemen, we know about the People's Mall on Frederick Street. We know what transpired among our black Africans or black Trinidadian people. Yes, the People's Mall on Frederick Street, we have that. Lower down there is another branch or another, which is in connection with the People's Mall. Lower down, and opposite that, one of the properties was burnt, and I think it's still in ashes. All that is owned by the Afro-Trinidadian or the Africans, as some of us may say. There is a food court. Ladies and gentlemen, I was only told to speak about this or ask questions on behalf of Fervent Robista Chubby Davis, Mr. McDonald Padma, all deceased, they came in my dream and told me to speak about these places. The food court. In the market, Central Market. They also told me we have a building which is supposed to be completed. They say they don't know when, but they told me to ask the question when it will be completed. That's the building in Trin City on the left-hand side, and we're proceeding to the west, which is supposed to be Trinbago headquarters for over 20 years. They indicated to me, you all have that. So why go to these gentlemen to ask for something else? Yeah? They indicated, and I'm trying to sleep, and I cannot sleep. And as I try to doze, they choke me again, and they said, mention up. They said, you remember the drag mall, which was on Independence Square? I said, yes. They say, where it is now? I said, they say, Riverside Car Park, Riverside. The drag mall is there now. Up, the back of it is against the East Dry River. They can't even put air condition for future in terms of looking better for the future, where it's located. And not far from where the drag mall is at, by Riverside Plaza, straight across the road there is a car park, Riverside Car Park, where scores of Afro-Trinidadians sleep and get up and eat there for years. You will have that. I said, but why should I speak about that? Why should I question that? And they came in my dream and they told me, ask about it. And here I am asking about it this morning. And between the drag brothers and the Riverside Car Park where the people are at, in the middle, we have a brand new monument. Brand new, the biggest monument, I believe, in the Caribbean. I'm asking, I don't know. Why should I speak about that? Because I'm asking for a property for the entire Afro-Trinidadian community where Emancipation Day is just around the corner. And we have all this, and you want to ask for that. Ask for that. Close to that monument, there is also a monument which is, namely, Columbus statue. Who has the gumption to speak on things like that to get things right? What they indicated, we have dropped the ball. There are no men. I am not saying it was told to me in a dream. They came to me and told me no man is standing up for the Afro-Trinidadians because Afro-Trinidadians are getting killed every day, young men. Young men are getting killed. I don't have the solution. I am in embryo stages on this radio station. I am young. I'm like a cockroach in foul party, as I always say. There are people who are in authority long before me. And here I am, speaking on behalf of I say, why should I be the one? They say, you started it, so you handle it. They just told to me. And then I doze off for a while. I started to sleep and I started to pray. And within 10 minutes, somebody hit me again. Two deceased people hit me again. Two different people. I'm saying, what is happening to me? And there I look and see Makandal Daga. Mr. Makandal Daga deceased. And Mr. Yasim Abubakar deceased. And Mr. Makandal Daga said to me, tell them I say, it's only niggers killing niggers. I said, why should I say that? So that is disrespect. He said, they will hear me. All my young children are dying. Why are they dying? I said, sir, I don't know. And he indicated to me, he said, the two longest serving constituencies is Laventille East and Laventille West. The two longest serving constituencies. And those two constituencies, and he started to say, the most killings, the most hardships. Never lose. The member of parliament is always there. He said there is my lot. There is so much, so much, so much. But what there is after that, I was told by deceased Mr. Makandal Daga. I'm saying, what did I do? Why do I have to come and question that this morning? And deceased Yasim Abubakar with his humble voice and a lovely smile on his face. He said to me, and while he was about to speak, Mr. Makandal Daga said, let me tell him something once more before you move on. Let me tell him something. He said, sir, you remember the party I was a part of? I said, yes, sir, the opposition party. He said, make sure and indicate to them, the people, that they said they would make this country ungovernable. Yes, deceased Mr. McCandle Dagger saying that to me, and I'm saying, why, Lord? I can't sleep. He even indicated to me there is a gentleman right now in black. He called the gentleman's name, and I said, sir, I don't like calling people's name. He said, when you speak about it, they will know who you are speaking about. The gentleman in black, who in these same two constituencies where I live, in the belly of my constituency where I live, is only Afro-Trinidadian following by the scores. In every area of these two constituencies is only Afro-Trinidadian following. He said to mention that. I am saying to question that. He even alluded to the fact that the same gentleman went to Sogonas and not one Indo-Trinidadian was following him. He said if 3 were there, plenty was there. I am just selling it as I bought it. In my dream, I couldn't have slept last night. I have to ask the questions this morning because it was told to me to ask the question. And deceased Mr. Yasim Abubakar with a smile on his face, he asked Mr. McCandle Dag, he said, could I speak now? Always a jolly gentleman. Mr. McCandle Daga gave way to the deceased Mr. Yasim Abubakar. And he said also we mentioned where I live at the Jamaat. That's the only place where an Afro-Trinidadian had somewhere, and the powers that be wanted to take it from me. I said, so why I do? He said, just mention it as a question. They will answer the question towards that. I want to say this morning, there are homes. Even last night, I see people crying, new HDC apartments. People are crying because their sewer system is flooded out. Their houses are flooded. No one to assist them. While this gentleman is walking about, we are seeing a lot of houses within these two constituencies, Laventille East and Laventille West. We are seeing some properties that I believe that those properties, if placed in Lands Park or Federation Park or Westmoreland, will be worth millions, if not worth tens of millions. But you know something? Where those properties are at this point in time, most of them are only worth hundreds of thousands because of the demographics. Most of the properties in the Laventille East and Laventille West constituencies, based on what I saw and seen, is worth millions if you place them in places like Westmoreland and Federation Park and those places. But strange enough, let us do the reverse, ladies and gentlemen. Let us take some of the properties. This is a hypothetical question or a hypothetical statement. Let us take some of the properties from Federation Park, Lands Park, Westmoreland, and place them in the constituency of Laventille. Anywhere in Laventille, east, west, name it. And there and then these same properties, which is worth tens of millions, will now be worth a couple thousands. Where we are at and where we are going as Afro-Trinidadians and as Africans. I'm sleepy. I couldn't have slept last night because of these questions which was asked by these people last night. And I have no choice but to ask these questions today. As I reflect on years gone by, when I hear the gentleman, the minister, who is always in the forefront for the People's National Movement in the Lavantil East constituency at one time and the Lavantil West constituency one time. He indicated, yes, everybody have to help themselves. Who's selling tulum? Who's selling sugar cake? Instead of crime, those. And today, as I see a gentleman walk around to different constituencies and I look on social media and see the type of properties that some people came by selling sugar cake and tulum and tambran ball, and to date, they can't even get a deed. A deed. All they get is a deed of comfort. Yes. I was told to ask this question, why? Why do Afro-Trinidadians always have to suffer for these things? In the parliament, when they speak of something and they want to downtrod or downplay something, they start to speak about Beetham and Sealots and Lavantil for years. And to date, we are not empowered as we should. And this is not from me. These are from the deceased people telling me to ask the question, why? And I'm asking the question, why? Because who am I, Steve Antoine, to ask why? So in a dream, these men came to me, these people came to me to ask the question and to make statements on their behalf. And that is what I am doing today. There are situations which is taking place and people are turning a blind eye. This is what they said, turning a blind eye to the truth. And because of party affiliation, they are only seeing it in one way. One way. We ask ourselves questions which I don't even have the answers to. Why are young people killing one another? Why is there so much indiscipline in schools? And they told me to also ask, why there is so much indiscipline in the highest court of the land, which is the parliament? I was told to ask that. Children learn what they live. I was also told to ask some time ago, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Clarence Rambarat spoke about land and how much thievery was taking place within a certain area in terms of land. And within there and then everybody started to speak about land and land and land and land. And when the gentleman was asked to come back, he said no, he wouldn't come back. He will only do it on social media only. And then the land situation just started to die off and die off and die off. They said to ask about that. Yes, the deceased I'm speaking about, in my dream, they told me to speak and ask questions about that. And here I am this morning asking the questions. Because who am I to ask those questions? Who the hell is he? Where he come out? Where Steve Antoine come from? So I cannot ask. When I speak by faith. I speak by faith with anticipation that my God will intervene and do miraculous things. That is how I speak. I cannot speak to change anyone's mindset. No, I cannot change anyone's mindset. But what I say, I can pray hard for the young people who are stymied, who are stigmatized, who have bad-mouthed. You see? And more so areas in Lavantil East and Lavantil West and environs, all up to Sunshine and Saint Street, those places, Carronades, all those places. I speak to the young people today. I'm asking kindly, gentlemen, serve God and trust God. Tomorrow is not promised to any one of us. Most we can do is ask God to intervene. Most we can do is ask God to intervene. And I was about to sleep. And then all of a sudden somebody said out of the network, something transpired some time ago, you have to mention, where two ladies was bantering, where one lady called one another's name, and another lady called another name and mentioned something, which defy. Even it was a disingenuous statement, even it was an insulting statement, whatever the case may be, all Afro-Trinidadians, or most Afro-Trinidadians started. So it indicated that we are Afrocentric. It indicated that we have a level of Afrocentric situations within ourselves. And a lot of us started to speak on that particular topic. And they indicated, they say, ask the question, sir, ask the question. Why don't they speak on all what you have spoken about this morning? I said, I will ask the question, but I cannot do anything about that. All I can do is speak by faith, where my God could intervene. I cannot change another man's mindset. And I started to pray hard and ask God, Lord, I want to sleep this night. Why me? And my God said, this is for you to say it through these people. And I'm saying it this morning. I'm asking the question, all that I spoke about this morning, all the questions. I'm leaving up to all the unfortunate Indian people this morning to answer the questions, because I cannot speak on things like that. What I can say and what I can speak of with authority is to say, I'm willing to pray for all those young people who are in schools, who would be on vacation very soon. I urge you, young people, I urge you, I plead, try your best. You are preparing to go back out to school. You know you will be facing different personalities. You are in a home now. Some of you all got your best first choice. Some of you all got your first choice. But remember, there are a lot of people you are meeting 20 and 30 in a class and an entire school. So you have to keep in mind what your parents have taught you. Don't let your happy moment because you have passed for a good school and take it for granted. I urge you, because I even heard our goodly minister within the Lavantel East constituency, Lavantel West, indicated that he in growing up, it have people who had 5 and 6 passes, and he got 1, and he are passing them by the wayside, still on the spot. I'm begging you people. And I'm seeing a lot of young people is gravitating to smoking more now than ever. More now than ever. I'm not here to cast aspersions. I'm saying to wake up and shake up and ask God to intervene. And as I close, I'm saying where we are at and where we are going. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, we just have about 2 more minutes. I don't know if Mr. Antoine wants to take any calls.
Of course, sir. If anyone wishes to call.
All right, so the numbers to call are 342-0081, 342-0081, 771-1791, 771-1791. If you wish to call in, you can do so now, and Mr. Antoine will entertain your calls. All right, so those are the numbers you can call. 342-0081. Hello, good morning.
Well, and good morning, Mr. Antoine.
A pleasant morning to you, ma'am.
Every day I just hate African man. Wake up. Open your eyes. You're still sleeping. Wake up. That is all I have to say. Wake up. Wake up. Get up.
I thank you, ma'am. And if all who are listening to me would realize, I didn't put what the unfortunate I didn't have to align what the other races have or the other people have. I also host a program on Gael every Saturday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Join me there. You will have the photos for every single thing I speak of. I'm not racist. I'm a realist. I cannot be in water and pretend I'm not getting wet. No way. Emancipation is around the corner. I wait to see how much of us will just put on our African garb and pretend for that particular day. Let's wake up where we are at and where we are going.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Antoine.
Conscious talk, where we are at and where we are going. We cannot redo injustice, but we can move on and achieve in anticipation if there may be changes to what we have been wronged about. It's Conscious talk.
views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of the Street 919 FM.
My friend them down and we get done. And this one I just for you. Then you just have something positive. Something positive. Oh, I did it, boy. Just you. I beg you just play more positive music. My friend them down and we get done. And this one I just for you. I beg you just have something positive. Something positive. Oh, I did it, boy. Just you. I beg you just play more positive music. But that's how my friend them a fight for. Play more positive music. Too much of negative thing going on, boy. Play more positive music. But that's how my friend them a fight for. Play more positive music. Watch it. Them push all of the positive artists, them push them way behind. And them know I hear chronics of blessed messenger. But they rather promote alkaline. And then they want to know I don't know Trinidad. Love until why it got so much time. See negative, know me that they're playing. That I'm messing with the youth, them mind. I'm making just play more positive music. That's how my friend them a fighting for. Play more positive music. Don't watch a negative thing going on one. Positive music. I like this verse by play more positive music. But deep in my heart, see me touch every note. When my body comes sing, gangsters touch the road. I pull in my friend them closer to hell. When them listening song from Vibes Cartel. Look at what I want up today, yeah. Leave my lock up in a jail cell. So just to sing positive music deep in my heart. In my heart, see my fear from bed. Madam.